Mishnah Pirkei Avos. We're in the first chapter. We're just finishing the first chapter. Here it is. Pirkei Avos, chapter 1, Mishnah 10, Shmaya V'Abatalion. All right, we have now, we talked about we're now talking about the rabbis that led the Jewish people and the end of the second temple, the end of the second temple. Before the first temple was built, the Jews entered the land of Israel with Yoshua. There were 440 years before the first temple was built. Then the leaders of the Jews were called the Shoftim. Here he calls them the elders. When the first temple was built, then the ones who were leading the Jewish people were the prophets, the Nevi'im. The Torah was given to them to teach. After the first temple was destroyed, then it was given over to the men of the great assembly. Those were the last prophets that there were, Haggai, Malachi, and Zechariah, and also people like Mordechai and etc. We talked about that. Daniel. And then after those people, the next generations, they were called the partners. We started off with Yossi ben Yochanan, Yossi ben Yoezer. And then after that, Yehuda ben Tabai and Shimon ben Shetach. And then, Yeshua ben Prachi and Natai Arbeli. And then came Yeshua ben Tabai and Shimon ben Shetach. They were the third couple. And now we're going to the fourth couple. What does it mean, the fourth couple? One of them was the head of the Sanhedrin. He was called the Nasi. And one of them was his assistant, the second head of the Sanhedrin, number 2, and that was called the Av Beis Din. The fourth couple was Shmaya and Avitalion. Shmaya and Avitalion, we'll learn about that, very interesting people. Shmaya and Avitalion received from them. Shmaya and Avitalion said, Ohev es ha-malacha, soni es ha-rabbanos, va'al tizvada l'reshus. I think we're a little bit higher. What you're showing on the screen here is a little bit too far. We're now on Mishnah Yud. You have the picture over Mishnah Yud Gimel. Go up a little bit. Let's learn the Kahati. Shimon ben Shetach, he gave his opinion. I'm sorry. Next one, Mishnah Yud. Shmaya v'Avatalian azuga revi'i. That is the fourth pairs. Azug Revi, Amdu, Barosha, Sanhedrin, they were the ones that were at the head of the Sanhedrin of the great court. Besof Tekufa Chashmonaim, in the end of the period, the Chashmonaim. This is the time when there was the miracle of, after the miracle of Chanukah. But Techilas Yemei Hordus, in the beginning of the days of Hordus, Melech Hordus. Like it says in the Gemara, and the Gemara and Gittin. Shmaya Avatalion, they were either they themselves were converts or they were the children of converts. Mibenei Banim Shel Sancheriv, they were the grandsons of Sancheriv. Sancheriv was the one who laid siege to Jerusalem. Sancheriv. They were the sons, in other words, the direct relatives from Sancheriv. Sancheriv was in the time of the first temple. He laid siege to Jerusalem, to Jerusalem in the time of Cheskiyahu Melech. It was a big miracle that happened. This whole entire camp was destroyed by an angel, destroyed his whole. And they, Shmaya Avatalion, they came from him. Sancheriv must have lived, several hundred years before. Shmaya Avatalion, were the greatest of the generation, but Torah and in Chachma. Chachamim Gedolim v'Darshanim Gedolim. They were tremendously wise, and they knew how to teach the Torah. The Braita b'Gemara, and there's a Braita in the Gemara that's brought, a Maisa b'Kohen Gadol. Once there was a Kohen Gadol, a high priest, in the second temple we're talking about. Sheyatzim Beit HaKadosh Kadashim, that he came out from the Holy of Holies on Yom Kippur, and Halchu Kol Ha'am, all the people followed him because he did the service in the Holy Temple. Cave and Sharoah Shmaya V'Atalim. As soon as the people saw Shmaya V'Atalim, they were also walking because they were going home to eat, whatever, Yom Kippur. In Nichu Otom, they left the high priest, the Kohen Gadol, and they went and they followed Shmaya and Avatalim. The soul finally, Bo Shmaya Avatalim Lipared Kohen Gadol. Shmaya Avatalim, they went to the high priest. They said, "Oh, thank you, high priest. Kohen Gadol, you did all this work for us. And you brought forgiveness for all the Jewish people." Omer Lahem, he said, the Kohen Gadol, it was a little bit, disappointed that everybody left him and they went to Shmaya Avatalim. True, Shmaya Avatalim were very great. But on the other hand, he just had saved all the Jewish people. The Kohen Gadol went into the Holy of Holies and brought forgiveness for all the Jewish people. He said, that he thought that this would weaken the position and the honor that people had for the high priest. The highest priest, the high priest was like the holiest person in all of Israel. If people started to think he wasn't holy, then this could have a bad effect on all the Jewish people. I know the Jews could, bring uncertainty to the whole entire Jewish people, to the whole entire all the society, Jewish society. You have to know who the top is. The Kohen Gadol, he's the top, and everybody left him, and they went to Shmaya V'Atalim. So he said, "Yavo b'nei ha'amim l'shalom." Should come the sons of the nations in peace. What does it mean? That you, Shmaya V'Atalim, you came from the Goyim. You came from, your parents were non-Jews, or you yourselves, if they were not. Where do you come from? You come from the non-Jews. You come from all of the Gentiles in the world. So, Hashem should bless you guys. He came from he's trying to say in a sort of a not nice way, just remember your place. I'm the Kohen Gadol, I'm the high priest. I have a pedigree that goes back to Aaron a Kohen. And what do you have a pedigree that goes to what? Your parents were eating, bugs. Who knows what they're doing? The Fishabom says even more, your great-great-great-grandfather, he was Sancherib. He tried to destroy the temple. And what they said, Yavo l'shalom b'nei ha'amim sha'osim ma'aseh Aaron. That it says, true, we are the sons of non-Gen, we're the sons of the Gentiles, yes, true. But we're doing the work of Aaron a Kohen. Why? Because Aaron a Kohen, he wants to bring peace into the world. And you feel jealous of us, you feel bad. That's not a way to bring peace. Al Yavo ben Aaron l'shalom. If so, you really are a direct relative of Aaron, but you're not doing the work of Aaron, that I don't know if you deserve a blessing of peace. She'eno osam ma'aseh Aaron. You're not doing what Aaron the Kohen. Aaron Kohen said he used to rodef shalom, ohev shalom, rodef shalom. He used to love peace and pursue peace. And now you, the Kohen Gadol, you're a very holy person, wonderful. But how does it come out that you're jealous of us? But the fact of the matter was, what the point that they're trying to bring out is that Shmaya V'Atalim were very, very holy people. And they were very, very, great people, tremendous leaders they were. And even though it's true that they did not come from Jews, but it's showing you it doesn't make any difference. God is everywhere. It's available to everywhere. And if a person that converts, he's just as much a Jew as the Lubavitcher Rebbe is a Jew. Maya V'Atalim, they were the leaders of the Jews. They were the heads of Sanhedrin. Kiblu Mihem, they received from Yehuda ben Tabai and Shimon ben Shetach. Shmaya said like this, Shmaya V'Atalim. Shmaya used to say, Ohev et malacha, love work, hate high positions, and don't be connected to the government. Let's see what he said. Love work. That work is a very wonderful thing. It brings blessing to a person. Even if you don't need to work in order to live, you're already a rich person, you already worked, you've got billions of dollars, you made good investments, your parents left you money, you won the lottery, you don't have to work. A person should always work. Do not sit, do nothing. Because if you sit and you do nothing, this brings a person to becoming depressed. So it says there's a book called Avot the Rav Natan. A person that hasn't got any work to do, what should he do? If he happens to have a backyard that's in disorder, he has a field that's not worked on, go and make a garden, go and work on the field, grow wheat, do something. Just like Torah was given with a covenant that if a person learns Torah, there will be blessing. Also, malacha nitan labris. The same thing is hard work. A person that works, that keeps himself occupied. This is also a bris, a covenant with Hashem to bring blessing. Like it says, Sheshet Yamim Taseh Ta'avod Vasita Kamalachta Malatecha. One of the 10 commandments is 6 days you should work and do 6 days you should work and do everything you have to. And on Shabbos, Yom HaShvi should be a Shabbos to Hashem. Also the same thing, the first man, Adam Arishon, what did he have to work for? He had everything. There was nothing that he needed. Everything was there. Lo tam klum, he didn't eat anything until he did work, like it said. God put him in Gan Eden. Gan Eden was like heaven on earth. Why? La'avdo l'shamra. God put Adam on the earth in order to work on it and to maintain it. Then afterwards it says, Mikol eitzagan ochal tafal. Then afterwards it said, God said you can eat from every tree that you want to from the garden. In other words, a person should not, even though everything is there, a person should always find work. Very, very important thing to do. If a person was born and created in order to help others, in order to make something, to do something, to improve something in the world. And if a person doesn't do it, then he feels bad, he feels empty. Number 1 lesson. Number 2 lesson. Sana as a rabbanos. Number 1 is you should love work. Always look for something to do. Number 2, hate the rabbanut, hate being in a high position. Keep away from what is superiority and being a ruler. Don't shekalala hil adam. That is a bad thing to a person if he is. Everybody gives him honor and everybody says, "Oh yes," and everybody stands up for him. And it's very why, because it says, "Shlosha devarim mekatzrim yom shel 3 things shorten a person's life. Echad me'em, one of them is hamanig asmo b'rabbanos, a person that holds himself to be very important, and he demands that people should honor him, stand up for him. Shekain Yosef, because we see that Yosef Atzadik, made Kodem Lechav, he died before his brothers did. Because Yosef, he was a king, and he acted like he was a king. And because he acted like he was a king, and he really felt that he was better than everybody else, what should he have done? He should have quit being a king. It was good that he was a king, but he should have always constantly remembered in everything that he did, the only reason he was a king was because that God made him that way, and he's depending on Hashem. For instance, it says that Moshe, was the humblest person in the world. Ish Moshe, Anav Mikol Adam al Pnei Adama, was the most humble person in the world. The same thing, King David. King David said, Ani tolat v'lo ish. I'm like a worm, I'm not really a person. It's true that when it was necessary to take hold and to take leadership, and he saw things were getting out of hand, they were strong rulers. But nevertheless, they never demanded that they be that they should get honor and that everybody should treat them as number one, and people should treat themselves as number two, as secondary to him. You do. Oh, turn the page. Oh, yes. Rabbanus. Yes. Okay, good. Altis badal reshut, and the third thing that Shmaya said, Shmaya Bavtal, the third thing that Shmaya said was, Al tisvada l'reshut. Do not tisvada l'reshut. Al tisvada you have in the Testament. I forget what your first name is, but you have this scene in back of you. There's this water, and it's looks like you're somewhere in a desert island or something. So it's strange to see.
It's San Martin.
Huh? What?
It's San Martin.
Right. Altis vadal reshut. Okay, the last Shmaya said, don't tishtadel she'asholton yodea o makirotva. Don't try, there's a word in English called ingratiate. Don't try to ingratiate yourself with the high people. There's a nice word that they use, they call it brown nosing. Don't try to get in good with the government. Everybody should know you and they should all like you. That everybody in the government knows him, and they all recognize him. Now you have a lot of connections, you have a lot of pull. In the end, they put their eyes on him, they take notice of him, and they kill him. And they'll take from all of his money from him. Because they'll always have to worry all of his life that maybe one day all of a sudden their feeling will change to me, and they'll need a little bit of money, etc. Pirush, another explanation. Al yakaven adam litol et reshut. Another explanation is a person should not put his eye on being the leader all the time. I have to be the mayor, I have to be the governor, I have to be this, I have to be the most important person. It could be if there's nobody more efficient than you are, and they need a leader, so you can be a leader. But the point is don't want to be a leader in order to be superior to everybody else. Only to get the job done. There's a job that has to be done, and you have to do it. Sorara al yadei shilton. Sha'af al pi shebarishona potchim lo petachana. Even though that in the beginning, to make you a big leader, they'll open up, everything seems to be wonderful. But in the end, potchim lo petach kasher. In the end, it won't be. All he'll get is a lot of enemies. People will hate him, and things will become more and more difficult. She'in makarvim lana, because the government does not become friendly to someone except for their own needs. As soon as the government decides that they don't need you anymore, then they'll throw you away. Therefore, don't have your mind on, I want to be the leader, I want to be the head of the city, I want to be this, I want to be this, unless you see that it's really something necessary and the people really need you, but not because you need the position. That's what Shmaya said. It's very good advice. Now we have 15 minutes. Let's learn